Military warns Islamic movement in Nigeria against planned protest in Jos. EFCC seals off Kwankwaso's property in Kano. NSCDC intercepts 4 petrol tankers in Lagos. And on the foreign scene, Côte d'Ivoire records first case of bird flu since 2015. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. Commander of the Special Task Force Operation Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, has ordered troops to take over strategic points in Plateau State. The warning was contained in a statement signed by the Military Information Officer, Major Ishaku Takwa Ali, who gave the order to ensure that the planned protest by members of Islamic movement in Nigeria does not take place on the plateau until full security of lives and property is guaranteed. He also warned members of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, led by Sheikh Ibrahim Zazzaki, against protest in any part of the state. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has sealed off a property belonging to the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso. The property situated in Kano State was sealed off following a petition by barrister Mustafa Danjuma, who alleged that Kwankwaso received a contribution of 70 million from 44 local government councils in Kano State. According to Daily Trust report, the amount from the 44 local government councils totaled 3.8 billion. This had brought Kwankwaso under investigation by the EFCC. The amount was allegedly channeled towards his presidential primary in 2015. A customary court in Kafanchan, Kaduna State has sentenced a 20-year-old farmer, Sunday Ilya, to 1 year in prison. The prosecution counsel, Inspector Esther Bishan, told the court that Ilya was arrested with a generator coil suspected to be stolen. When interrogated, Ilya confessed that he stole the coil in Gidanwaya and brought it to Kafanchan with intent to sell it. The offense, she said, contravened the provisions of Section 305 of the Kaduna State Penal Code 2017. Ilya pleaded guilty and pleaded the court for leniency. The presiding judge, George Gwani, gave him an option to pay a fine of 15,000 naira. Security operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and the Nigerian Navy have intercepted 4 petrol trucks in Barua, Alimosho local government area of Lagos State. The suspected vandals were caught on Friday night. They loaded one of the 4 trucks with products and escaped from the scene. Confirming the development during a press conference, NSCDC Lagos Commandant Okoro Eweka warned vandals to stay clear as the Corps has been positioned for better performance to protect government physical infrastructures. Eweka reiterated the commitment of the NSCDC in fighting insecurity, noting that the command is determined to protect critical government infrastructures. Senator Ibrahim Ali has urged the federal government to remobilize retired security personnel to fortify security across crisis-prone areas in the country. Abdullahi Gobir made the appeal in a statement issued by his media assistant Bello Muhammad on Friday in Sokoto. The lawmaker noted that mobilizing retired men does not require fresh training. He also advised the federal government to redeploy all security personnel that stayed in the area for a long time by posting another set with increased number. The senator, who is representing Sokoto East Senatorial District, lamented that banditry and other criminal activities were an increase in Sabon-Birni, Isa-Wurno, Raba, Goronya, Gada and Ilele local government areas of the state. He said the number of security officials in the affected areas were grossly inadequate to tackle the security challenges. Still ahead, President Muhammadu Buhari's son Yusuf is set to get married to Zara, daughter to Nasir Ado Bayero, the Emir of Bichi in Kano. The presidency has constituted a presidential delegation ahead of Buhari's visit to Kano on Friday. A statement by Buhari's media aide, Garba Shehu, said the president had already dispatched a high-level delegation to be led by his chief of staff, Ibrahim Gambari. He said members of the delegation will stay back after the wedding to represent Buhari at the coronation of the Emir at Bichi on Saturday. Now, over 60 years as an independent nation, Nigeria is still faced with problems confronting national unity. socio-economic growth and development, security challenges, among other fundamentals of nationhood. The need to help the country shaping its focus on issues has given rise to a national dialogue and public presentation of a book, 60 Years, 60 Voices, by the Critical Change Agents. Trust TV's Aisha Sali was there.
At the National Dialogue centered on remaking Nigeria, the editor of the book, Chido Onuma, highlighted the essence of a combined effort to address Nigeria's challenges.
The essays that make up Remaking Nigeria, 60 Years, 60 Voices, critically examines Nigeria's social, economic and political situation and explore the options open to us, suggest solutions and how to actualize them. They take a critical look at the country's democratic experiment since independence in 1960, where the country is today, and some of the major issues that have dogged the country's march to genuine democracy and nationhood. The essays focus on different aspects of our national life, including whether the fundamental question of nation building that began 6 years ago has been fully and or properly answered, and what lessons we have learned as a nation 60 years after independence.
However, the keynote speaker at the book presentation, Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, commended the star-studded authorship while stating the relevance of national dialogue.
For me, the idea of remaking the nation should not suggest a strategic demolition for us to erect a totally new structure. The question that we must, however, be willing to answer is where the inhabitants of the country as big as Nigeria will take shelter if we must collapse it, because for many, especially if the idea of remaking Nigeria includes unmaking Nigeria.
Chairman of the occasion, former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, in his remarks, called on the need for restructuring the country.
We must restructure our country in a manner that allows various segments to develop at their own pace and not be held back by the center or other segments. Developed segments will spur development in other segments because what they do well will attract attention of others. That may make a Nigerian union more attractive and nation building much more easier. Our poor nation building record should not be an excuse for developmental inaction or backwardness.
Some participants at the event clamored for the political will to adopt suggestions of the 60 essays written in the book.
I think there's a lot of contribution from, 60 is not a small number, and I think that's a lot of contribution. If we've never been short of ideas on what to do. Really, the challenge has always been the will, the political will to do the right thing, okay? But again, this is another great intervention coming from 60 bright minds telling us the way forward on how to build this democracy. And I think it's something that we should take advantage of.
The dialogue reflected majorly on the country's diversity in an organized manner to drive in solutions to Nigeria's challenges. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Date coming up after the break. Katsina receives 92,370 doses of Moderna vaccine. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
My name is Samuel Dada. Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabila jeji.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You are still watching Trust TV News Update. Here are our top stories. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has sealed off a property belonging to the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso. Special Task Force Operation Safe Haven have warned members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria against protest in any part of Plateau State. Still ahead, Katsina State has received 92,307 doses of Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccines arrived at Musa Yar'Adua International Airport at about 8:14 p.m. on Thursday night. At the airport to take the delivery of the vaccine were the State Commissioner for Health, Yakubu Denja, and his entourage. Other items received along with the vaccine include 38 computers, QR code syringes, among other items. The Commissioner disclosed that with the arrival of the vaccines, the second phase of the COVID-19 vaccination will commence by next week, and the focus will be on vaccinating those from 18 years and above. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control says 674 additional COVID-19 infections and 8 more deaths have been recorded in August 2019. The NCDC stated this on its website on Friday morning, noting that the country's total infections had risen to 185,267. He attributed the surge to the highly transmissible Delta variant and low vaccination rates across the country. It stated that the new infections indicated a decrease from the 1,149 cases reported on Thursday. The Public Health Agency said 8 new deaths recorded on Thursday brought the nation's fertility count to 2,244. It said additional infections on Thursday were reported in 16 states and the Federal Capital Territory, with Lagos State recording 355 cases, indicating it remained the nation's epicenter of the virus. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has been honored with the most outstanding governor of the Federation in the management of COVID-19. The award was presented by Nigeria Guild of Medical Directors at its international conference in Abuja. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aminu Ibrahim Ali, who represented the governor at the ceremony, said Kano State invested a lot of resources in fighting COVID-19, noting that the governor was committed to improving healthcare delivery services. Occupational Safety and Health Association has underscored the need for institutions to access vital information on safety to ensure informed policies and enhance the health of workers in the workplace. Dr. Olusegun Aderemi, President, Nigeria Chapter of the association, said this in Abuja at the National Workshop, Induction and Fellowship Investiture 2021 with the theme Accessing the Requirements of Proactive Occupational Safety and Health Management Systems in the Workplace. According to him, safety of the worker is an inalienable right embedded in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Professor Idris Bugaji, Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, called for focus on skills training and improvement in the country's polytechnics and monotechnics. Dr. Alhatu Ahmed, Chairman, Council of Fellows, Nigeria, expressed joy that critical institutions were interested in the matters of skills and safety.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria provides that the state shall divert its policies towards ensuring that the health and welfare of all persons in employment is safeguarded and not endangered or abused. This workshop, therefore, is to stimulate discussions and elicit a better understanding of occupational safety and health management systems.
At the moment, the federal government, as well as the private sector, has brought in a number of infrastructural interventions. If there's anything that will give this government a credit, it must be infrastructure. We have seen interventions in the expansion of the railway, Lagos-Ibadan, Lagos-Calabar, Abuja, Kaduna, then Kano to Maradi. We have seen interventions in gas infrastructure, the AKK gas pipeline, for example. We have seen interventions in other areas of the economy from the private sector, such as the largest refinery in the world, being built at Lekki, the second largest urea plant in the world, also built in Lekki. These are major infrastructural interventions. Unfortunately, the skills to deliver these projects, 95% are coming from outside Nigeria. The Nigerian youth are being shortchanged. We need to train young Nigerians. We need to refocus the polytechnics and other TVET institutions to come on board in the training of young Nigerians in the area of skills.
I'm happy today that critical institutions like the MBT, because MDP, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is very central when you are talking of developing skills that will take up the mantle of our national affairs. MBT is very central, and we are strongly ready to partner with MBT to see how we can create and depart from the traditional way of understanding safety within Nigeria.
We need to map out what we call mapping out of the stakeholders. And we did that by bringing most of the stakeholders. We're still, mapping some of them. But I would like to tell you that we have very many organizations that have now keyed into in this country. I would like to tell you that there's no ministry at the federal level and many other MDAs that are not part of this project. And we're still making advocacy, going into so many other organizations and stakeholders to make them buy the idea.
Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nigeria, Chu Junchun, says trade between China and its Belt and Road Initiative global partners, Nigeria inclusive, has already hit $1.35 trillion. Chu, who said this in Abuja during a brief symphony performance by China-Nigeria Orchestra at the Chinese Cultural Center, said trade with African countries hit $1.35 trillion in 2020. Highlighting the importance of China's BRI initiative with Nigeria and other countries, Chu said the embassy was also developing strategies to strengthen the BRI initiative between Nigeria and China. Julius Enekwere, a former deputy editor-in-chief, NAN, while delivering a lecture, noted that China and Nigeria shared several similarities and challenges.
The year 2018. So also the 140 countries, and also including, if we add 30 international organizations, we have 170. That means the countries and the international organizations. In the whole Africa continent, we have 46 countries plus African Union to sign this document. Since the year 2013, we have 130 billion investment. The third figure is about the trade. We have accomplished 9.2 trillion trade all over the world, especially the BRI partners.
China is helping us to drive infrastructural decay in Nigeria. which we are presently battling with. And I pray that we break more grounds as we go along, so that China can know that there is a government in Africa that can be trusted. China is not ready to do business with lazy leaders in Africa. If you are talking of the Belt and Road Initiative, they are looking for people who are serious in a win-win situation. If you are talking of the Road and Belt Initiative, it's like a locomotive moving and looking for things that are of interest on the road that can attract China.
And in business, value of the Nigerian naira fell further against US dollar, British pound and euro on Thursday. Data from Forex website showed the Nigerian currency depreciated against the United States dollar by 3 to trade at $5.20 per dollar compared to $5.17 per dollar it did on Wednesday. Similarly, naira depreciated against the British pound sterling by 1 to close at $708 per dollar, in contrast to $707 per pound of the preceding session, while the euro gained by 1 to close at $607 per euro, in contrast to $606 per euro. However, at the investors and exporters segment of the market, where naira is officially traded, the Nigerian currency gained marginally according to data obtained from FMDQ Securities. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temipre Silva, has inaugurated the steering committee for the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. The inauguration ceremony held on Thursday in Abuja, a day after President Muhammadu Buhari approved the constitution of the committee with a directive to immediately commence the implementation of the PIA. Silva urged the committee members to live up to their responsibility, saying a lot was expected from Nigerians and foreign stakeholders. He stressed the need to do all that it takes to deliver on the assignment in a matter that was best achieved through collective vision for bringing the anticipated gains to the country. Nigeria's inflation rate fell for the fourth consecutive month by 0.37% in July amid increase in food prices, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. This implies that food prices continued to rise in July 2021, but at a slower speed than it did in June 2021. Trust TV's Nafisa Abdul Al checks on the situation in the market.
Amidst high rise of unemployment and insecurity in Nigeria, the inflation rate has dropped consecutively the last 4 months. Ibrahim Ali, a finance expert, gives some insight on the cause and effects of the drop in inflation rates.
It's not essentially saying that inflation has gone down. What it's saying is that the rate that inflation has been spiking has reduced. So, the average man on the street will certainly tell you that they're feeling the pinch of food prices going up and other prices going up. So it's certainly not an indication that things are getting better. It should also be put in context that the consumer price index does not necessarily measure things like substitute goods or people simply not being able to afford the goods, the basket of goods that people are that the CPI normally measures. So, it's important to put statistical analysis into context.
Checks across some markets in the FCT show that despite the drop in inflation rates, prices of foodstuff are still on the rise. Some traders in Abuja confirm massive increases in the prices of some commodities.
A lot of increase in the buying of in the rice business now. Like, we can't even just imagine it. It's not increase that we bought it that expensive, but how customers react over it, that's the problem you are facing in the business, because there is a lot of increases that the Nigerians can't even afford that much again.
Despite the high price, but God is still showing us the grace, still manifesting His power. He brings customers, they buy. As the only thing is that the people that used to buy 10 noodles, they can reduce it to 6 or 5 noodles. God is great. There's nothing He cannot do. He must put food on our table.
Consumers lament over the hike in prices of food items in the market and urge the government to come to their aid.
Every day I'm in this market. Today, the price will increase to 300 naira. Tomorrow, 400 naira. Let's say, for instance, I bought rice day before yesterday, 1,100. Today it's 1,400. This okra, I used to buy this okra 500. Today it's 1,000. And I don't know where we are going to.
See, things are very expensive now. Everything very expensive. Every day, things will increase. You go to market last week. If you are in the market last week, the price of things, you come again this week, it will change. It will increase. So we don't know what is happening now.
However, Umar Abdullahi Sadiq says his business is going well as most of the vegetables he sells are relatively cheaper due to the rainy season.
The time when we start falling, our things very expensive, more especially tomato. For August, that July, we are buying basket of tomatoes, either one, like 5,000 naira. But now we are in season, we are buying 10,000 naira, 10,000 naira. Now only onions is expensive. All onions, not expensive.
There is a need for the government to pay attention to structural development and address issues of insecurity and other challenges in the country.
I think there needs to be a concerted effort by the government to tackle especially food inflation. If it gets to the point where the average man cannot buy a basic meal, then we are reaching into serious problems.
There is an urgent need for the government to intentionally ensure price stability before the situation becomes deplorable. Nafisa Abdul-Al, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in sport, Tottenham named identical twins Michael and Matthew Gregg in the men's first-team matchday squad. The brothers were both named on the youthful substitutes bench for UEFA Europa Conference League playoff, first leg against Paco de Ferreira in Portugal. The 2003-born twins have shone in the club's academy setup over the last few years and signed their first professional contracts with the North London side towards the end of last season. Both of them play as central midfielders, although Matthew can also play at centre-half. Matthew joined the club at under-12 level, while Michael, formerly Arsenal's under-12s, joined his brother at Tottenham in the under-13s. Well, that's it on News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.